This series of videos is going to be my breakdown of a part of the game's strategy people have been mostly ignoring since release, to the point where I've never seen it discussed properly and in depth. Hopefully this guide will teach even the veteran players and coaches something new to consider about the game, and give analysts a good tool to evaluate some team comps. I've produced a number of graphs to make the explanation easier, and I'll make sure to link to all of them below the video. The basics are already well known. Ultimate charge is generated at a passive rate of 5 points per second, with a single health point of damage dealt or healing done, also giving a point towards your total charge. Each hero requires a different amount of points to charge their ultimate, with Lucio requiring the most points at 2,940, and Tracer's ultimate requiring the least charge at 1,260 points, giving Tracer an ultimate that charges 2.33 times as fast as Lucio's. This 1-to-1 ratio of damage dealt to healing in terms of points has a strong impact on something people do without even thinking about it. Neutral spam, as I define it, is any damage done to the other team with the intent to charge your ultimate, which neither depletes your opponent's resources, either shields, cooldowns, meters or ammo, which will be online before the next meaningful encounter, and doesn't aid in securing a kill. Any damage that you deal in the neutral game is essentially a swap in ultimate charge points between you and the enemy healers, and coaches have often fell into the trap of more charge regardless of the context, and spamming spawn doors is always right, without much additional thought. For instance, Reinhardt gets a 4-person fire strike cleave on an opening spawn door with no real chance to get a kill from it. Reinhardt charges straight away 400 points, 25.97 of his Earth Shatter, but the enemy Baptiste heals the 400 points straight away with his alternate fire, giving him 20.4% of the way to an amplification matrix. This might seem like a good trade for the Reinhardt. His ultimate is often as useful as the amp matrix and he gets more percent charge, but imagine the entire defending team dealing 400 damage each to the attacking team between the spawn door and the first engage. The attacking team can engage with 2,400 points split between their two healers, meaning 3 amp matrix into the first team fight, but the defending team are all stuck around 20 to 25% charge. Each team has about 4 to 5 players who charge their ultimate through mostly damage, and only 2 players who can charge a significant amount of points through healing. So if you don't account for ult point losses, healers' ults will always be coming out at around the same rate as DPS ultimates, despite the fact that their ults are generally more costly in terms of raw points. The big takeaway from this is that high healing capacity healers, meaning Ana, Moira, Baptiste and, to a lesser degree Mercy, can essentially trade ultimate points with the enemy team to funnel charge into their own ultimates. Ultimate charge is lost from the damage to healing conversion system by so many different means that most players have never even bothered to think about it as a closed system at all. As a quick rundown of ultimate point losses: health packs, armor, shield generation, character changes, deaths including demeching, and dealing damage whilst you have your ultimate, with your ultimate, or before you even start generating points after using your ultimate, all take points out of the economy. When I say take points out of the economy, of course, I mean they take charge out of the system by either robbing your own healers of charge, or giving the opponent's healers a chance to get free charge from your damage. Each health pack taken is 75 or 250 points of ult charge wasted, which is 3.57 or 11.9% of Ana's full charge, and all damage restored by generating shields, or extra health from overhealing armor, directly takes ult percentage from healers. And obviously charge is lost whenever someone damages without generating charge. All healing done by a character other than the healers is a conscious choice to take ultimate charge from them and put it into your own ultimate. So unless the heals are during combat and are absolutely necessary, you need to think about whether healing counts as feeding. Roadhog gains around 13% charge per take a breather, but Baptiste would gain 15% if he healed the same amount. So you're trading your B class ultimate for an A class ultimate that's still more efficient. If you think about Soldier, he has a pretty large charge bar for his not so good ultimate, meaning that again, healing up neutral spam with his field is a choice to take that healing from your allies. You've got the same choice to make with Mei's Ice Block, although her Blizzard is a lot more efficient and a lot more powerful, so it's more than likely a good choice to make the freeze and just heal yourself up. Now that I've gone through the losses, it's easy to see that the reason for some of the meta changes, where odd DPS characters with powerful ultimates suddenly come into the meta, despite themselves not being very A-class. Sombra, for instance, made a powerful appearance during the Goats meta due to her hack being so good at killing Reinhardt, but also because of how efficient and easy her ultimate was to charge on a team of tanks, only requiring 1,400 points even after the last 20% ult charge rate nerf. EMP became a powerhouse of every other encounter, being an 8-star ultimate on a fast recharge. Mei has also returned to prominence. Her ultimate has always been reasonably efficient, at 1,610 points, meaning she feeds very little charge to the enemy healers, and her Blizzard is an absolute powerhouse. If you want to compare this with the less used DPS heroes such as Ashe and Soldier, they have got really expensive C-tier ultimates. I mean, 2,300 points is about 40% more costly than the standard DPS ultimates, which are around 1,700 points. So when choosing your character, you need to keep this in mind. How good is your ultimate? How fast is it to charge? And is it even worth throwing that dynamite at their spawn, when all that's going to happen is their nano boost will come around a lot sooner? I mean, just think for a second, if Ashe's charge was dropped to 1680, would she see more play? I mean, Bob having 40% more uptime has to affect it quite a lot. But I don't think Blizzard's ever shown a willingness to fine-tune their character usage through changing around charge rates. I remember one nerf on Mei a while ago that directly affected her charge, but apart from that I haven't seen anything. Despite the comps being weird or unviable, it's a good thought experiment to set up your dream team of efficient ultimates, and might help you think about your comps in the future. Let's say Mercy and Ana as one of the 2 most efficient healers per point, and coupled with DPS duo, let's say Sombra Tracer and Winston Diva maybe for the tanks. It's clear how efficient an old dive comp could be. That's as long as they don't have Lucio included. So if we compare that with the shield meta at the moment, Orisa, Sigma, Lucio Moira and Doomfist Reaper, the total points for the dive team add up to 9,660, whereas for the shield team they add up to 12,880. That's a 75% difference in ultimate charge rates, meaning the dive team gets 33% more ultimates than the shield team over the course of the game. If we compare that to the now defunct triple tank meta, so their good old comp Reinhardt, Zarya, Diva, Lucio Brig and Flex Heals, which were Zen, Ana or Moira, it meant that all their damaging characters had reasonably fast charges, and the comp really capitalised on how fast Reinhardt's ultimate charges when he has a strong frontline support. The comp's total charge was still high because of Lucio and Zenyatta, but most of this was in the powerful support cooldowns, the saving ones, and it left their damage cooldowns coming around reasonably fast, pretty much all of them. One big note is that Lucio and Brigitte split the AoE healing ultimate charge between them, meaning that the first 2 engagements always had to be dry on support ultimates when running Zengoats. It was punchy and it really capitalised on mistakes, but Zengoats didn't have a high healing capacity healer like Ana to really take the first engagement on an ultimate advantage. Another quick note on Goats is that the reason why it started out with Moira and Ana against other comps, then turned to Zengoats in the mirror, is partially because the ultimate economy for the healers no longer mattered. Moira's ult didn't do enough damage to go through the AoE healing of Brig and Lucio, and Nano Boost could be spread away from. Because of Lucio's speed, neither team would take a fight unless on even ground, and since Moira Beam didn't do much, and Nano Boost could be walked away from, you may as well take the fight with a more powerful damaging healer, and wait to delete the opponent's Reinhardt. That, coupled with the strong support ultimate down the line, made Zen the obvious pick for the mirror. Alright, I think that's probably enough for today. But my next video on this list is going to be an expansion on this video, going into the amount of ultimate charge each character feeds per death based on how much health they have. And so that's going to be combined with this in another analysis. Anyway, have a nice day and hopefully stick around, subscribe and all that if you want to see more.